Hey, bro. Imagine if I gave you a black eye. That'd be crazy.
Hello.
Throw you out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. This is Underground Owensboro. You know, I'm here today with my friends and special guests. We have Dracin Williams in here.
The next mayor of Owensboro, Kentucky.
Sir.
Let's get it. I have Dracin here.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
I have Warren G.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have Quad Tinsley.
Before I do my introduction, if Dre Tyus calls Dracin to Draco one time, I'm leaving the podcast. But yeah, what's going on?
And I also have my friend Keegan in here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, and
Yes, sir.
we're gonna be asking Dracin a bunch of questions about his campaign.
Yes, sir.
You dig?
Oh, so you for real? You really run for mayor?
You think it was a game?
Not a game. This is not a
It's
drill.
gonna make Owensboro great again.
Facts.
So let's start off with you're from Owensboro, right?
Born and raised, 1991.
1991.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let me just give a little bit about myself. So my name
Yes.
is Dracin Williams, born and raised in Owensboro, Kentucky. To two great parents, Andre and Onisha, shout out to y'all. So I went to Cravens Elementary.
Or school, but
Sit down.
Doing the Sutton.
Cravens Elementary, OMS, OHS 2009. Then I went to Western Kentucky University, graduated in 2015. Then I went on to Chicago, taught up there for a few years, and now I'm back to make Owensboro the best city in Kentucky, in the region, in the nation.
it's a good goal to have, man, because Owensboro sucks,
it's
man.
in shit right now.
Yeah, it's some shit, man.
How?
Stop, Dre Tyus.
How
No.
so? I want to know.
We were talking about this before.
How do you rank a city?
Hold on. Before we move on, I do got a question about the background and everything. I do be seeing that you went to like Columbia and everything. Can I've always wanted to
Yeah, I
get.
got the question.
I got it.
All right, as long as we gonna get to that.
We're definitely gonna get
Okay, as long as we want to get to that, I want to make sure we get real and deep, really understand
Yeah.
Dracin, where he's trying to go.
Yes,
Go
sir.
there.
We talked about it before, but like, there's not too many opportunities around here for people, and I would say people of color especially. It's very hard to navigate. I found it hard myself to like navigate shit around here and understand how to move, and it just sucks, man. Owensboro just sucks at times, man, a lot to me.
All right, I'll move on to my question. How do you rank a city? What goals do you? What makes the goal for it to be the better city?
A better city. So first, my guy right here said that Owensboro, it sucks. I will have to disagree because I mean there are certain good things about the city. Now, is there a lot that needs to change? Like with my dude who say, how do you rank it? It depends if you talking about economics, safety. There's a lot of different factors that go into ranking a
So
city.
like if you had like an average score, like a safety was like an 80, then like I would say like, what's it per capita? Like,
Yes,
gross
yeah.
income and shit like that. So it would just be a ranking like that, and the average of that would be like a good fucking city. Like the higher the average, the better. Like let's say like safety, like on a scale from 1 to 100,
Right,
it's like let's say we're like at 75.
right.
To raise our score, we gotta raise that to like an 85.
Right. Well, in terms of ranking, what I
How do you
believe is
determine that?
how would I determine? I think it's personal. I think it depends on what you're looking for in the city. If you're looking for a safe city, then this will be a great place for you. If you're looking for a place with opportunities and to like move upward mobility, this city does not have many opportunities for that. Just in terms of like jobs. High-paying jobs, we do not have a lot to offer in that area, but it's safe. It's a place you can raise your families and be cool. I'm sure if you got kids, this city ranks high for you, but I don't have kids, and so I'm looking for something different in the city. So for me, I'm looking for, I got a master's degree. I'm trying to have a decent paying job. I don't want a home now. In the future, I might want to own a home. Tax rate, property taxes keep going up, rent's going up. So if I'm ranking the city, it's going to be according to what I feel like my priorities are. But yours probably different. His probably different. It just depends on who you are, in my opinion. You get what I'm saying?
I get that. But
so like, what are you looking for in a city?
But you want to make the city better for you.
No, I want to make the city better for all the community members here. But I'm saying if we're ranking a city, it is a personal thing. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, I can talk about economics and safety and jobs.
We could do a census, right?
A census just records demographics. So, like, race, median income, things like that.
But then we could put, like, a survey then, right?
Right.
Because that's like, I thought the census, oh yeah, you're right, the census is like income and shit. But still, you could do something like that.
Oh, definitely.
And then hit everybody.
Definitely. I absolutely agree with that.
Okay.
So what was your point?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying,
like what are you looking for in the?
I don't.
Where does Owensboro not work for you?
I'm chilling, man.
I want to ask Darius that question, cause Darius said that it sucks, everything sucks. What does it suck like? Where does it suck for you at? Tell me how. Like, what are you looking for? Like, I think you probably don't think it sucks, but I think it's just probably not where you want to be or the place you want to be at, cause like different opportunities for different people. I don't think it's like if you a young person and you take pictures and you in the arts and stuff like that. No, this is not necessarily a place for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to know where it's suck at for like.
I know that there's other places I can definitely go to do shit like that, but like I want home to become something like that. That's what I'm very infatuated with. Like I said, we were talking before, this city is ran off restaurants and sports. You know, nobody cares about the art kids, skateboard kids, the kids that do other things. So it's like, I want to be that front runner person to like push that into the city. You know,
right.
So this is the goal with doing all of this shit. Is like. To like, hopefully a whole new wave of people. I mean, not if I do it the way I want to do it. Hopefully, a whole new wave of people will be like, "Damn, Darius did that. I can do it." You know, I don't have to fucking play sports to feel worthy.
Right. Well, and back to like how he's talking about ranking the city, and that's why it's important that you know, if you are running to represent a city. As a mayor does, then the whole point is that you're listening to people. So, like he just said, he's interested in the arts, as I'm sure there's hundreds of people in the city who are also interested in the arts. But in Owensboro alone, we have the opportunity to devote certain amount of money to museums, to, the arts. But we don't. So do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, yes, I know for me what I'm looking for in the city, but as a leader of a city, it would be up to the leader to go out and listen to people, to hear what matters to you, what are your priorities, what you're looking for.
Yeah, but the majority should have a bigger say, correct?
Facts, like the people.
Yes.
Right.
More so.
I agree.
I agree. There needs to be more, shit for Darius and shit to do.
Right.
right. But then, like, you got a bunch of old people here.
Right.
That want to raise families.
Right.
So if more shit like that pops up, it's gonna be less space for them.
So you gotta find a balance, is what you're trying to say.
You not a balance. Somebody has to lose here. Somebody's not gonna come out happy.
Black people.
No, that's a bad history, my friend.
Well, I don't think so. Around here, I do not. So I've been to Chicago. We can say that is a black and white thing. The schools I taught in was all black students in a all black community who have a history of, there's been policies created where they actually live in places that do not have the resources for people to thrive. Around here, black, white, many of us are struggling. Like, so there's no set community here of black people.
Yeah, many of us are struggling though, but like when it comes to like the school and shit, it's not the same. It ain't the same. Cause I mean, you gonna have your 4 good teachers who really rock with you, but most of the teachers is not gonna make sure you learn. They gonna make sure that you go white kids. That's what I don't like about it here.
Right.
You ain't gonna get really taught nothing because it ain't like a lot of us. And you got, you got
Right.
Like, but you got your like Miss Patsy's and stuff like that. People like her who really like gonna look out for you, make sure you getting taught right. But other than that, I feel like like going to school here. I don't feel like going to school here in Atlanta. You not gonna. They ain't trying to make you like be great. They ain't really trying to make you be great unless you doing sports.
Right.
You don't like keep it a whole bud. They ain't trying to like take you to the next level, and they don't see you. And when they do sports, I feel like they don't look at them more as like they look at them as that. Okay, they go to college, they send them to like a Lindsey Wilson or something.
Campbellsville,
Georgetown. When some of these kids got better potential than that, they can go somewhere. But they be a kid who, you know, on the lighter side.
Right.
On the lighter side, who get these opportunities, and he's not better than this next kid or something like that. But then I also feel like with the athletes, they feel like they not really like they don't see them going. They don't try to like push them to be something more than what they are. Like, oh, you gonna come back here and you just gonna teach your school and look after all the other like black kids. That's how I feel.
Right.
I feel like stuff be kind of like it ain't. I don't know. I don't want to say authentic. I don't know. Stuff ain't genuine here, and I feel like black people know that here, but they like in a place like this. I understand like most people conform to the white side or try to live like that white life, but it's cause that's all we surrounded by, and we don't have no like uphold like community. You feel me? Like
Right.
Like, you know,
right. Yeah, and I'm sure it's probably also because I think there's maybe less than 10% black population here, so I can feel that, and especially as you see the people who's representing the city, a lot of the times they are not. It's not a diverse group of people who have historically represented the city. Many times they've been white men. We also have 52% of the population here is women, and we rarely, until recently, see women represented in the decision-making process down within our commission. We rarely see women represented in any of the politics here, and so I get exactly what you're saying, and I do think it comes down really to representation, or at least somebody who believes that diversity is important. Not saying that the people down there don't, but it has to be a priority, because if it's not, then you gonna fall by the wayside.
Plus, I've seen a lot of people be put in situations that they necessarily shouldn't have been put in, but just cause it's so like, I guess it's less of us, and you know we Commonwealth. It's gonna get ugly. It's always gonna get ugly.
Right.
Cause it's nobody like up. You feel me? Like representing. You feel me? Like anybody. Like that's what good thing about you. Like trying to run mad. Cause I can never seen that before. It can make a real difference. Like you feel me? Give people more confidence and whatnot. But that's why I'm like it's like I don't know. It's like it just trick. It just I don't know. It ain't good. It ain't,
and so. Within the past few years, I've actually been keeping up with politics, and I think that's why it's so important that people educate themselves on the moment we're in right now in politics, in culture, everything, because what you are talking about is basically people who have power, people who are trying to keep power. What does it mean for people to have power and not listen to all the people when they're making decisions? But that ain't even just an Owensboro issue. We see it in statewide, national politics. We see, what the last two elections was really about is who do we think should lead? Who do we think should have power? If they don't listen to the people, if they don't represent the people, what do we do to the people in power? So I think Owensboro, like probably every other city in the nation, and I'll probably say world, is questioning who has power and what are we going to allow them to do with it. I mean, that's what's going on in England and China with the Hong Kong protests. Everyone's talking about the same thing. You might be talking about it from a black point of view because you black, but young people in China are saying the same thing about the people who represent them, poor people. Everybody's saying the same thing. And so I think everybody got to understand that it's all connected. You got to read. So Martin Luther King wrote this book. It's his last book. It was called Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community. And he talked about what he called a freedom explosion. That's basically where we at now. It's either we gonna get freedom, we gonna hold power to account, they gonna represent us like they supposed to, or things are gonna change.
It's funny you brought up Martin Luther King about that situation because I feel like, but everything I just said about Martin Luther King, and I feel like he was like I seen his vision, understand, but I don't think like he kind of like a problem, but it's like an accident, and I feel like he noticed that when he died, cause like when we would like, not saying that like I'm for the segregation shit, but when we was segregated, we was teaching our own self.
Everything
we was having our own
right.
communities police. We was having own hospitals police and stuff like that, and that's the stuff we need, like our own financial stability. Cause once we get our whole community, everybody, we get financial, we making our own money, we having our own banks, having our own money. You can't really like manipulate us and like take advantage of us. And,
Right.
Feel me?
No,
fuck up our bond, like with the bond,
right,
like you feel
right.
me? You know, you making our bond 20,000. You know, we ain't having 20,000 over some petty stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you're not gonna make this next man buying, like you feel me? Just like that shit with like my little brother, you died. My little brother died. White boy buying, get a buying, his bond go down, 75, crazy. You feel me? My cousin, you feel me? They don't even got nothing, but it just he say, she say, you fuck up his bond all the way up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, come on.
No, I agree, and I think and that's why I keep telling people. I was just talking to my brothers and them about it. That's why everybody got to be educated about the moment, because there are people talking about exactly what you're talking about on a state level, national level especially, because they recognize, okay, like we've been saying it long enough that this is a problem. And so the people are holding people in power, saying to account and being like, this is an issue. If you want our vote, no, whether they actually make the change, that's another thing. But you see people actually talking about the injustices wherever it happens, especially in like the prison system, bail system, and all that, because mass amounts of people recognize it and they kept pushing them. Now, that may not help you out right now, but I just think, we're in a moment right now where I think everybody has to realize that, most people, and the thing is, it ain't just black people talking about it, it's women, it's if you call yourself LGBTQIA+, it's poor people, it's all of that. Everybody's saying, we done dealt with it for too long. Either you gonna represent us or you gotta get out.
Absolutely. You mean, yeah.
But I mean, that don't stop or make up for everything that done happened over, since we've been in the country. You feel me?
But I ain't trying to like, I'm rocking with you, I'm supporting you, but honestly, do you think like you could win? Cause it's like, I don't want to kind of seem like unreal. Like if you would win, it feel like unreal, like
right,
like crazy. You feel me? Like you young, you black. You feel me? You did everything right way. I knew you since I was young. It just be like crazy. But and I don't think in Owensboro ever seen something like this. And it's just like it's one of them towns that's like it's kind of like everything go with family. Like this person in here, and it's everything is like politics and like you feel me, like. It's all who you know and stuff.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you like?
Do I actually believe I could win?
Yeah, like.
I genuinely, just because I recognize the moment we in across the world, especially in this nation, I believe that there is no other moment for me to win.
Yeah.
Because
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
10 years ago, if I was of age, nobody was really on a mass level questioning, like, why are you in power? Like, how have you maintained power and did the same thing for the last 40 plus years that has not helped?
Ain't nothing changed.
And nothing has changed. And I think it probably took these 40, especially the last 40 years, for people to realize, okay, we're getting Democrats, we're getting Republicans, and it don't matter because nothing is changing. And so, honestly, I don't think there's a better time for me to be running. This is really the only time when it would be even likelihood.
I agree with that. Another reason
it.
why I feel like you got, with your advantage is a lot of young people is getting into like voting and paying attention.
Right,
and,
right.
Feeling like they vote count and stuff
Right.
like that. So I kind of feel like you can win. Like, this would be the time you can win. You feel me? But it's just still like,
if you can really get niggas out to the polls, because and what I mean by that is, I've never voted for nobody on this level.
Right.
So like, you're gonna be the first thing I go to the polls for this level of government to vote
But it's
for.
up to
So
people
if
like
you really
us
get
too,
niggas
though.
our age out to the polls,
Nigga,
you
you gonna win. It don't matter.
it's gonna be a lot better than you think.
It's up to people like us too, though.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? Like, we got spread our voices.
Like, I've been trying to spread your message, let niggas know, hey, Dracin's really trying to do something.
Well,
I see niggas in the bar, hey, Dracin's trying to do something. Let's get to
I
it.
agree, but and I think, especially around here, like small towns, when nothing changes or becomes a culture, like, dang, it don't matter who I vote for around here, they ain't gonna do nothing. But just learning about politics, it all like local elections matter, the state, the federal, and they all connected because the money that I'm gonna get from the state, I get to prioritize. Not even that I get from the state, that I get from hardworking people around the city. You get to work with people and see, like, okay, what is it that matters to you, and how can we make it happen? Whether it be prioritizing affordable housing in Owensboro, whether it be the arts, like local politicians are the ones who work to make that happen. And so, I mean, I think I'm pretty sure I voted locally for. I can't even think of who I voted for, but I felt the same. Like, nothing gonna change. So
I feel like people forget how tight the black community is here. I'm related to two niggas in this room, and there's other niggas in here who are cross related to other niggas in here.
Right.
So the black community here, whether they be doing whatever they be doing, is fairly close knit. Like you really can't even fuck with. Speaking for myself, I really can't even go. I don't even feel comfortable calling out a black girl around here because I don't know if that's my cousin. I don't even know it.
Right.
So I feel like you get the young people on, or you get the parents on, and that message spreads to the house. It's gonna be like wildfire. You definitely gonna have the whole black community around you because it's gonna be a family thing. It's gonna be just like how the white people are doing. If the dad's voting for this person, then the mom's gonna vote for this person. If the son's of age, they're gonna vote for this person. It could be the same way in the black community because we're just as close knit. When the Dust Bowl was popping, who'd you see there? The whole family. Families would be sitting in the bleachers, the Tinsleys, everybody like everybody gonna be together. right. And I feel like people were like really be forgetting how close knit like the black community really is, or it's like at least around here, like family wise and blood wise.
Right. And that is all true. And around here, the whole point of why I ran also is because, I am black and have been a part of the black community, and I've seen what community means to black people. And it's important that in Owensboro widespread that we ensure that the same community that we was raised in, that everybody has the opportunity to be a part of. And that's not just black people, but because while we are here in a close community, we are still a part of Owensboro. And so it's important, especially if you plan to run to be a representative in the city, that you are recognizing that everybody here has the opportunity to be a part of a community, or should have the opportunity to be a part of a well-connected community. And it should be a priority that whatever barriers that stand in the way right now, that you are helping to sort of mitigate or remove, so that we remain a well-connected community. Because I think that, personally, I do think it is one of the benefits of being in a small town. Is like, you know everybody. When I moved to Chicago, didn't nobody ask me my last name, who you kin to, because they knew they didn't know.
Hey,
me.
elaborate on that too,
And
Dracin.
so,
Elaborate on your life in Chicago. That's one of the things that I want you to do.
Right.
For sure.
So, so once I graduated from Western. I ain't gonna lie, I spent probably 12 out of that 18 years I was young waiting so I could leave Owensboro. Because I knew then there was not many opportunities around here that I was gonna be able to be a part of. And so once I graduated, I worked my 2 jobs. I worked at Dismiss and Dugan Best and saved up. I knew I wanted to be where it was happening. At that point, Chicago was on the news for all, like, the murders and stuff. And I was like, it's either there or Nashville. Been to Nashville. It's happening in Chicago. I want to be a part of what's happening. And so I went up there and I did, y'all know the AmeriCorps?
Yeah.
So I did AmeriCorps for 2 years on the west side, North Lawndale community, at Chalmers School of Excellence and Collins Academy. And, you know, I always tell people, I didn't know racism here.
What do you mean by that?
I didn't know racism here. Because racism, when you really understand racism, is something a little bit more like sinister and deadly, and you can feel racism.
You ever
Like,
felt it here?
here, I can't say that because racism, when I was here, racism, quote, I'm using hand quote, is people calling you nigger.
And all that other
And you realize when you in Chicago that racism is something a lot deeper than that. Racism looks like the kids you working with being in 8th grade, reading at a 3rd grade level. Solely because of where they live, the amount of money their parents has access to, that, and then to know that they were there because of policies created by the city. That is racism. Right here, we do not experience racism on that level. And I don't think we really, really understand the impact, like, what racism is, in my opinion. Because it definitely ain't. Nigger, yes. I mean, that is racist. That is racist.
It's a bigger city, so it's more systematic and it's more deeper
Right,
than you think.
Right, but
You know?
racism is solely about like, it's not just that you dislike me because I'm black.
But we stop people.
But it's the systems. It's the systems you create. So, like, how you mentioned that in terms of, like, the criminal justice system where 2 people can do the same thing, one happens to be black, one white, and you see vastly different bonds.
Yeah.
I could see that being racism. But when you're in Chicago and when you understand, and this is why I think it's important, especially like who you choose to represent you, because you recognize that everything that is happening in Chicago, whether people believe it or believe that the people shouldn't be doing what they doing in terms of the killing and all that, but everything that's happening in Chicago is the result of what politicians,
Racism.
what politicians did to create an environment that makes people struggle and compete. And so that's and I would say my time up there is when I understood more about what the impacts of local politicians, local politics on the success of a city or the absolute total decline of a city. And so, I spent 4.5 years up there. I tutored, mentored, then I taught for 2 years, and then I came back with a clear idea about what it means to lead, and hopefully that we'll see if I get the opportunity to actually be a part of leading a community, building community with people, trying to address the hurt, the harm that certain politics does to people.
Yeah.
Giving people opportunities, things like that. What do you think about that, Dre Ties?
Nah, I like it. I respect it. I see exactly what you're saying, how you going on. I respect it. You got my vote.
Quad, you had a list of questions, right?
Shit, yeah. He answered like the first 4 of them. The 5th one was like, it's way off track from what we was talking about earlier. So like the 5th one was, you talked about, we had a lot of talks on these at Dismiss. So like, you talked about leaving Chicago because you left the job and then you moved to Columbia for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks you talked about. So what made you do that, and like what are some of the things you experienced whenever you was down there?
South America, Columbia?
Yeah,
Right. So I left my job teaching, and I worked at a temp service for $9.50 in Chicago.
And the rate of living is probably
Man, you talking about struggling. And so by that point, I had a master's degree. I was making decent money. I was like, if you do these things, I'm set. Like, I ain't very struggle no more. And then things change, and you have to understand that ain't nobody exempt from struggle at this point in time in history.
Right.
That it don't matter who you are. Very few things are stable. So I had worked at a temp service for maybe 2 weeks. Then I was, overwhelmed. I had bills coming, and the rat race was just getting to me. So I was like, I need a change. I need some sort of mental relief. So I was doing research, came up with Colombia. I went to, it was called Medellin. I went to Medellin. I'd never been there before. I found the place I was going a day before I booked my ticket. And I got on the flight. I stayed for 2 weeks. Didn't know nobody. I assumed because I'm American that people was going to speak English. Nobody spoke a lick of English. I had to depend, and this is also important, because I had to depend on people who I didn't know, didn't look different, didn't speak the same language, to do right, to not scam me, to not send me in a part of town where I was going to get mugged or something. And for 2 weeks, I literally, time after time, found another person who took care of me, who showed me where I should be going to help me get there. They wasn't making a lot of money. Many times they were stopping me while selling watermelon. They couldn't speak to me in English, so they would call somebody up without me even asking. Call somebody up and say, "Give me some help." I also met a lot of people who was from other countries, so I was chilling with a dude from. They was travelers. He was from Chile. One was from Germany because I was staying in different hostels. One was from Germany. We was touring the city together. These are people I never met in my life, who culture's totally different, and then you see clearly that, you know, and this is why I would say travel, because when you meet people who are totally different than you and you got to depend on other people, that's when you understand the importance of like community. So then I came back with a new understanding of what it means to actually be a part of a community. And at the end of the day, when all is said and done, if you don't have, you have to be a part of a well-connected community in good times and in times of struggle, because you're going to need somebody who you can knock on their door and say, hey, like, I need a ride to work. My kids need food. Can I borrow $5? That's why it's important to me, because if you would see if you read my posts and everything, I'm constantly talking about community, because at the end of the day, that's probably the most important resource you can have, is a well-connected community. And with, you know, technology and the struggle that people facing now, drugs, we are having issues with remaining connected. And so I think it's important for, if you plan to lead a business, a city, that you understand that you should prioritize people being connected, that people being a part of a community. Mm-hmm. And so that's really, in all of the politics, all of the policies I presented, is all about people having an opportunity to be a part of a community, to remove certain barriers that help to make you more disconnected or don't help you be connected. And so that's what it is. What you think, Mr. Howard? You still talking about ranking, right?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm still kind of with the Medellin, right?
Medellin, yes.
Is it with a J? Or like, was it M-E-D-E?
Two L's.
Yeah.
That's where, what's the name? Pablo.
Medellin, because two L's make a Y, Medellin, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, but yeah. Pablo was from there, right?
Oh, yeah, they have different museums,
I'm
Pablo Escobar, yeah.
I'm still, you know, I'm on that right now. What was that, like, I'm pretty sure, you know, he was such a big influence. He still has, like
you can see him still limping the streets, yeah.
Yeah, like, he's still, like, besides, like, his, like, presence is still probably in the streets.
Right, yeah. But they're going through, like, they were, like, building a whole bunch of stuff. You can tell that they're in the process of trying to steer away from that, create something totally different, because they're, like, building everywhere. They fixing sidewalks. They're trying to, like, invite more tourists. And so, I mean, you can see the impact in museums, but there wasn't, you couldn't really, like, you ain't feel.
Like, there's no, like
I didn't feel like there was a heavy drug culture there because of, you know, the history. But they moved. I went to a museum, and the whole museum was just talking about the impact of Pablo Escobar on the specific city I was in.
They said they
and how they was moving forward. Yeah,
that's what they said.
I mean,
right.
it's like, I think like it was good you went there, because that's how Pablo did it. He brought all the poor people together.
Right.
And shit, and like he gave out money and shit. Like he put all the people together.
Buildings, football fields.
Yeah,
it was community. It was community oriented.
Community, like he knit them together. Though it was through, you know, frowned upon means and shit. You know, he still built them together. And that
right. I don't know how people there would feel about it. Like they might say something. They might say something totally different, because, like, there was he may have been helping them, but they was killing people in the streets. It was like,
I disagreed with him. Yeah, I get that, but then
it was something to talk about. People wasn't even leaving the house because of what, you know. I'm sure I don't know much about. I don't know much about him
either. But still, if you went and like what the museums and shit said, obviously the people, he's dead now. They won in the end. the people that made the museums will say he was how he did it was wrong and shit.
Right.
And we didn't live it, so we don't really know. For real, because like the people that built the museum, they won in the end, right? The government won in the end. And they were everyone's putting on the community and shit now, saying he was probably a fucking awful guy. But then he still brought everyone together. So we don't know.
I'm not for sure about that. I'm saying in the museum, I read that
his community.
like
that's what I'm
it's
saying,
sort
but
of
still in the
similar. So
museum,
while I was
people
reading,
that
it was
built the
similar to
museum.
Chicago. It's similar to Chicago. Like the kids up there, they don't leave the house. And I was reading in the museum down there that people would literally not leave the house. And so I'm sure, like, who was it Big Meech?
David Barksdale, Larry Hoover.
Larry Hoover.
It was Larry Hoover.
Larry Hoover, I'm sure, was a generous man up in Chicago. Very generous. However, no one's leaving
In the midst of a
if kids, families not scared to leave the house, it's kind of counterintuitive. Like that, you throw out you maybe donate some backpacks and stuff.
Yeah.
But
a couple turkeys.
Have a couple.
But people are literally too scared to leave the house. So yeah, kids walking to school with the backpacks you got on, but they nervous to walk. They running to school, running in the school
walking
building.
with a gun in the backpack.
Right, because of
The environment you created.
you have created
But
you
then you didn't create the environment because like I'm sure like Pablo was so rude. He was part of that environment. He was there from the jump.
Right.
He had those like immoral means and shit because he grew up in that environment to not
Right.
give a fuck. So the environment was already there.
Right.
He is a product of the environment. He did not make the environment.
It's probably like government policies
Exactly,
and stuff
that
helped
fucked him over. So he was
yeah.
like, I'm gonna try to fuck them over.
That's a different take. Yeah.
That's
That's a different take.
just my thought. That's all I'm caught up on. It's like you still said Medellin. I was like, I thought it was like it wasn't weird to me, but I was like, I'm pretty sure. Well, you said Medellin, so I wasn't sure the same place.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was like, Pablo's from there. I'm pretty sure. Well, not there, but that's where like he, moved his
Yeah.
weight. and shit.
They have a whole. They made one of his houses a museum.
His Hotel
Mansion.
Escobar. Yeah. I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about,
hotel.
Yeah. Warren, you have any questions?
No,
Quad, you have any
I'm
questions?
taking it.
Hey, he can answer everything.
Are y'all going?
Personal.
The question is, how is every single one of
I
y'all
got-
registered to vote?
I got
Absolutely.
a question for you.
I don't think I am.
Look, I got a question.
Drake
for you.
was a felon.
Yeah, he need to get registered.
Me personally,
Fellas can
I'm-
vote.
I think you have to finish like probation. And,
You gotta get your GED, Drake Todd.
No, he's not a felon. He's not a felon. He's
Yeah,
he's a
but
dumb
I
guy.
think they passed. I think they passed something where you just got to finish your the probation, parole. I'm not for sure what either one is, but like your whatever it
Let me ask my
is.
question first. Go ahead. Or do you have a question?
I do. That's what
I didn't know if you were asking for a question or not. Here you go.
Yeah. All right. So what policies do you have in mind? What are you gonna do? Let's say you win. Let's say you do win.
Right.
What policies are you gonna try to enforce?
Right. So, if you look on my Facebook with my phone, so one of the things I'm gonna prioritize is like around here, 2 and 10 people. So how many people is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah.
If we had a few other people,
Yeah.
2 and 10 actually have like a bachelor's degree, and any city that's looking to grow, especially economically, they have to have. There's a lot of factors that go into it, so they have to have businesses of today are looking for an educated community, because if not, they gonna come to Owensboro and have to like outsource all of their workers. So they'll have to be looking outside of the community for workers. So if we plan to have high paying jobs, we have to have educated people. And so one thing that they did in Stockton, California is they call it the Stockton Scholars Program. And it's a program, it awards every single student in their public school district I think it's $1,000 scholarship with the goal and they get the $1,000 each year. But the goal is to raise the rate at which young people who will eventually, hopefully, come back, get educated. And so, how they did it, they funded it through, solely through donations, like monetary donations from the businesses. And go ahead, I see you got a question.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, you're getting into it. I was going to ask, how does that differ than what we have, which is keys, right?
Do we still have keys?
Yes.
I have no fucking clue.
We still have keys.
Keys money for school?
No, I mean, when we graduated, we still could have
Yeah,
access.
yeah, we still have
I never
keys.
got my
Yeah.
money.
Where did you go?
Well, that's good because
But you just
No,
the businesses that want to like hire source the scholarships and shit.
right. So it wouldn't just be. It would be for a scholarship primarily, but they would offer other services, sort of like career readiness and things like that. But even then, like I know with keys, I was still short, And so what I'm saying is that, go ahead.
I get that, but then, like, granted, keys was still short. I don't think in the long term for college, $1,000 is a lot of dollars. Like, $1,000 is up that much.
Right. And so, and that's exactly what I'm saying because I believe it all adds up.
So
Right.
how does
So
that
any
all
help
do it?
that you're providing to a family that is low income, even high income, because I'm saying every student
Yes.
would have the opportunity to get the scholarship. Helps.
So, but every student, no matter what, gets $1,000.
Every student, if you going to in Stockton, they made it where it can be trade school, or you could be working towards a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
But every student in their public schools do get a scholarship.
And companies fund that.
Yeah, they get donations and stuff. Right.
And so, what's the closest city to Stockton? Do you know?
San Francisco.
Is it really San Francisco?
I'm
Like,
not
it's
sure.
not
I'm not sure.
San
It's in the
Francisco
Bay
is like
Area.
one of the richest cities.
It's in the Bay Area.
Oh, okay. And so I would say, like, they could, like, obviously it's next to a big city. They would, like,
It's easy to reach out and get that.
yeah, they want
Right.
Because, like, companies and shit will build in San Francisco
Right.
Right. Easy.
and shit. He got mad.
But they also have more students, and so
But that's what
It
I'm
is
saying,
my
like,
belief that
the rate of
when a
living-
city makes it a priority, right, to educate people, that to ensure that more people are educated, that we have companies, UniFirst, Swedish Match, the hospital, they already offer a J.B. Browning scholarship, that those people will see the benefit because you are here in the city, right? Do you get what I'm saying?
I get that.
And
but
so
I see
they
how
would be willing to invest.
I get that, but now I see why they where they get the money to give every student $1,000.
And also, them people.
Right.
San Francisco's rate of living is so high, and all it really has to offer is like the location. Because I've read people get jobs in San Francisco and they will fly every morning from Oregon
Right,
to
right,
San Francisco,
Right.
and it's still cheaper than living there.
right,
And all San Francisco really has is its location. That's why it's right there on the fucking bay.
right.
So like they don't have to get anything in. They don't have to really invest except in anything except property, which is all probably they've had owned for years. So naturally, once they've already owned the property,
Right,
they
but
have
this
a lot
is
of money
this
to
is not
afford
San Francisco. This I'm talking about. It's Stockton.
Yes, but how? That's why I asked how close is like the biggest city. He said San Francisco. And how
That
far?
might be true. I'm not for sure.
It might. I'm not believing. He said with confidence.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how far would you?
Make it be.
Huh?
I mean, we got Google. We can look this shit up.
I mean, since I know Stockton's in the Bay, so I mean, if you got like Vallejo, what's the biggest city in the Bay? It's San Francisco.
Look at this Nipsey Hussle fan over here. Look at him. Ain't you just
We ain't
great?
walked away.
All right, but I agree. Let's go into some other things. So one was most communities have they create a 10-year plan, right? And so is it not?
Well, it's an hour drive.
Okay.
But still, Stockton to San Francisco. It's not bad.
Right.
It's like driving from here to
But still, like, I mean, if I was moving to a big city, that's what I would do. I would move outside the big city where shit's cheaper, and then just go to the.
What a lot of people do.
Wait,
That's
so
what I'm saying.
what connected for me because I'm missing the point.
They can
Yeah,
afford.
what's
They
this
can,
means?
they can afford to do that.
They can afford to get that
money. They can
money.
afford because they're getting their money from San Francisco.
That don't mean no. That ain't
No,
It's coming from Stockton. It's in Stockton, San Francisco.
No, it's coming from. It's coming. They're getting it. They're like the people who are donating
are companies.
Are companies.
And where are those company headquarters more than likely? San Francisco.
No, they had a variety of donors. Like Mike Bloomberg, who is based in New York, had donated.
Okay, then what makes Stockton so fucking special?
Is that they had a vision. Like the mayor was young. It was a black man's name was Mayor Tubbs. They had a vision.
Yeah, because Mike Bloomberg donated a whole bunch of money to like a lot of black populated cities like Birmingham, Alabama, Stockton. I don't know how Stockton's black.
And so then
black population is black.
Right. So what I'm saying is
he can do that.
You present a vision.
Have somebody donate and back that.
And I believe, especially around here, that individuals will say, you know what, like, yes, we need a more educated peoples. Companies that have been here will say, yes, this benefits me because I am investing in the community where I have business. Do you get what I'm saying?
Business is in Stockton.
Well, how would he know
No,
that?
I haven't looked that far in it, but I can tell you we got Swedish Smash, Universe, Alcora, Indian entrepreneur just brought the hotel.
Those are factories. You don't need a bachelor's to do that.
No, but certain jobs in the factories
What?
require that stuff.
Trade school.
No.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
You can have office jobs at them factories.
Okay.
You gotta have an accountant at the factories. So and if he's doing that and you backing and somebody's donating to that, them companies are donating. They're gonna donate also because these kids are coming from here. So it's potentially these kids can come back here and get a quicker job and positions, the office positions, the corporate positions.
So it's like an investment.
Yeah.
They invested back in this so they can come back into
That's all the money. That's all we be
nigga, like, we gonna run off with that.
Right. It's an investment. But then, I'm just lost. Like, what do they gain? I mean, I get, they're investing, but ultimately, what do they gain instead of outsourcing than here?
It's more morale. I would say morale booster for the city, community, close knit. Same thing to Escobar. You get that same.
Yeah, that's cool and all, but still.
Right, but so many businesses. Big businesses.
They gotta do charities for. It's go to the taxes.
I'm just saying, if I'm running a business, I'm about my dollar.
It helps them. But listen, tax write-offs for your business. Tax write-offs.
Right, most businesses have a corporate
donations will be a tax write-off. That's their gain.
Huh?
So the donations is a tax
that's one of their gains.
All right, so what else do they gain? I mean, I'd say that's a big gain. You're saving money.
They invest in the community where they live. So
but you said he was based in New York. Mike Bloomberg is based in New York.
That's one specific thing.
Right. So for the Mike nigga, he's just getting a write-off. Exactly. But for the niggas back in Owensboro, they get to invest back into the community that they think is fucked up and fix it. But for the niggas in Evansville, they just getting the tax write-off.
Exactly, but still, does the guy that owns Swedish Match live here? Does the guy that owns Alcoa live here in Owensboro?
Right, but there are I was getting donations from people in New York to help the kids I was working with in Chicago.
Yes.
Right. So there's certain people and businesses,
things.
Right? But I'm saying most of the time the people who would help were people in the city because they recognize that maybe I'm not getting something right now, but you could be a future employee, a future manager, right?
Better relationship.
Does you see the investment the way that
I see?
Gotta keep the family close.
Word of joy.
Second, so first, I agree with what you're saying. First, it was undertake a new community plan with community involvement. So every time,
He's a conspiracy theorist though.
How?
I
questions. You think when he goes to run his policies, niggas ain't gonna ask questions?
Those are good questions. First, listen. Undertake a new community plan with community involvement. Many times, around here especially, we create plans for the community without actually hearing from what the people need. We build plazas. We put a lot of money into certain areas of town without asking, is this what we need? Second, cultivate and recruit women to serve as leaders in the city. Women are the majority here. There's like 52% women, yet we don't see them represented in many of the positions in our city. I think it's important. Women have also been proven to be more just leaders. Number three. Hold up. Number three.
You about to pull the future mask.
Number three.
You about to pull the future mask.
Establish transparent internal external marketing. Any city that is looking to grow typically needs a clear communication strategy. You need to be able to communicate your vision with the community, get their input, change your vision. That's 3. I'm coming back to you. Number 4, create an office of ombudsman to foster accountability and ensure services are delivered efficiently. What the ombudsman would do is, this was important because it holds our leaders and other services that we provide through publicly funded accountable. Many times, people are not accountable. If we don't have those accountability measures, people can sort of do whatever. The services are not delivered efficiently, right? And so what the Office of Ombudsman would do, city and county, would be to ensure that people have services that are delivered efficiently. Number 5, I talked about, it's called the Owensboro Promise. Look up Stockton Scholars and you'll see what the benefit of a program like that. Number 6, it's also important that we focus on our youth, because many times if there's no opportunities here, most of the time we miss out on the opportunities for young people to tell what their vision is, what they need. And so number 6 is establish the Owensboro Top 20 Young Achievers Program, right? A program that engages our most talented young people in creating.
Who are we to gauge talent?
How do we do that? Right. And so it could be.
Is it gonna be a vote? Who's the most talented?
No, so I'm saying there will be a criteria, but it wouldn't just be academics. Academics is important though. But are you serving in the community? Are you of service in the community in some way, right?
I wouldn't qualify that as a talent. You're just,
most talented to me is a general term for people who. It's just a general term. It can be that you are exceeding academically. You got a 4.0, right? It can be that you show up every Saturday to cook food at St. Benedict's. So there will be
incentives.
Right, like a criteria. And right, so
just being an outstanding member of the community
is important.
It is important, but is that talent?
Talent is a general term.
Okay, but so then the top 20, so
top 20 city, yes, city, county.
Okay, so you just have
diverse
you're
group
gonna keep
of
track
people.
of everything. If Darius just one day was I feel like giving back.
No, clearly I was on the Owensboro Youth Council when they had the Owensboro Youth Council. You applied. You told what makes you qualified. What do you want to do?
You would
and
have to
people
keep a record.
select.
You
Right.
have to be able to keep a record of people doing things.
No,
and
it's when you're applying for college. The college ain't keeping a record of what you doing.
It's just what you say.
You are explaining why you are talented, and people read, they see what you did, what are you doing.
You gotta have the data.
And that, right.
But what's better than recorded data?
Right, so it will be through an application process. Number 7.
It would be like shit. Like you say, going to St. Benedict's.
It could be anything. The whole goal will be to get a diverse group of people with a diverse group of talents, right?
Like,
So
Dracin go down
some
to
may
the
be
skate park
academics.
Every Saturday, take pictures for kids and like print them off, give them to them. You know, I would say that's giving back to the community. They can like
Exactly.
shit like that. You have no record. He did that, and then you would have a record of some kid from.
He
the
would have to. He would through an application process, right?
So, I mean,
would
anybody can lie, but it's just
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
You can have references and shit
Yeah,
too, though,
that's
to
why
to back up.
yeah,
but-
yeah.
You're not confirmed. You were there every Saturday. It sounded like attendance is part of it. You said every Saturday. Like you said every Saturday somebody at St. Benedict's.
No, I'm saying hypothetically, can you
it's not
like what have
It's
you
not
done?
possible.
Why are you on this?
I'm
Number
asking
7, established in Owensboro, Davis. No, you asked some good questions though. Established at Owensboro, Davis County Food Council to foster local agricultural investments and develop connections at a local level. Okay, whether I think so this city has been built through agriculture, but now for some reason it's not. I don't think we focus on it as much as we can, even though there are many jobs that are created around the agricultural sector, and there's a lot of research being done. I think here we even have people doing research, people growing hemp now. There's different opportunities, and I think it's important that a city that was built by farming, sort of reprioritizes those people in that industry and helps to create more opportunities around that sector, because that has been, especially for us as jobs leave, has been where we have found like our most steady success, and so I think it's important to focus on that. What's up, Dre
I
Tice?
speak Ebonics, so can you kind of break that down, like get like real, like because
Right.
a lot of people can't understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Right. So, like, there's a lot of food councils. I think there's one in Charlotte or Durham. And so, what they do is they work with the farmers around how do I say it? So they work with the farmers first on like creating connections to ensure that locally, if you are you growing stuff that the city needs, right? It is Old Charlie's prioritizing buying their produce from a farmer in Davis County before they buy it from somewhere else, so that the money
Stays in the city.
exactly.
Also more opportunities.
Also, around the food council, there's one. I know there's one in Evansville, but I looked at the one in Charlotte. They're doing work around food insecurity. So it means kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from. I think there was a statistic locally. There was like
That's me.
maybe 10%, maybe 10% of the kids we have in our school district may not know where they next meal is coming from. So how can we use the agriculture industry here and connect it to making sure people have fresh produce? Also, making sure that is our school district
Serving the right foods. Too much
right?
GMOs.
Are they buying from
Don't send the notes right
local farmers?
I'm serious.
No,
Too much GMOs.
where am I at? Number 7, number 8. Number 8?
You're on number 8 now.
Let me make sure. What's your question?
Oh, I got
You-
1 for 2 answers.
Okay. So I'm gonna come back to you. Okay, number 8. Develop more recreational infrastructure, like
Absolutely.
a new.
This nigga don't know a word he just
I
said.
was
Community center.
a new swimming lake. Think about it. As the climate changes, summers get hotter. People need stuff to do. Health, swimming lake, biking lanes. We need to ensure that around here, I know we have a lot of negative health factors. That's why our insurance is kind of high around here, because there's relatively high levels of teen pregnancy here, of smoking, of diabetes, high blood pressure. And so anywhere you find that the people are overall unhealthy. You're going to find insurance rates that are high because people see this community as a liability in terms of health. So focusing on health. You feel me? Okay.
Absolutely.
Number 9, generate. I'm gonna break this down. Generate more diversity in civic life and improve businesses through the cultivation of startup enterprises and develop a joint city-county office of global trade to attract businesses from Asia. So like soybeans, there's a lot of different. There's a big market for soybeans, especially and other produce in the Asian market. And although we going through some like trade war nationally, many places are, especially in agriculture, are having to get investments, look to Asia to help support their community because right now they have an unlimited resource capability. And so an Office of Global Trade will bring together some leaders who are able to reach out to the Asian market and connect them with the local people we have here. And also diversity in civic life. I know a lot of the times around here especially, we do not have a lot of stuff to do for people who are not older and who do not like blue and who are not into bluegrass music, right? So no, but for real. And so I think it's important that we find stuff for people to do who are not into those things, and I think a mayor should prioritize that because we have young people here, and right now
We tired of romp. Keep it up.
right now we do not have much for us to do. Let me continue to the next one. This one's all about looking at ways to provide cheaper and cleaner energy sources, especially looking at solar energy programs. And so I know locally we are not as strong producers of energy. We have like 2 coal plants to close down, and we contract. There's like a new solar plant that just opened in Lyons, I believe, or Lyons, Kentucky, and so we got to look at ways to provide the like cheaper energy sources. Everybody I've been seeing has been complaining about their OMU bill rising, and it's been proven that renewable energies like solar energy is a lot cheaper and it's mostly at stable cost. Let's see. Strengthen our transportation hubs. So we have an airport that we need to make sure that is, especially for tourism, that are we devoting the necessary resources to our airport so that they become a regional airport? Is our public transit system going to all the places that it needs to go? Can they run longer? Should we find ways to ensure that more senior community members have access to the different stops? Like really evaluating what we can do to build on the transportation infrastructure we have here. And I done lost count, but the last one was establish an Office of Cultural Affairs. Many cities have them, and it's to enhance cultural development through events and festivals. Like Owensboro, and this is the importance of having a clear vision, because right now our local politicians don't know whether we want to be the sports city or the arts city, and it's kind of confusing if we don't sort of let's choose a lane. If we're gonna be the arts city, let's be strategic in how we develop the city. And so I believe, we offer romp, and we got a bluegrass museum. We got a What's this big building?
Convention center.
Yeah, convention.
We have a
center.
convention center that rarely
What
has.
goes on in there? No conventions.
We have weddings in there. That's it.
Yeah, it rarely
Yeah,
has any acts or any people coming. So how can we use the resources of the city to make sure that people have stuff to do? If we having festivals, how can we make sure that the International Bluegrass Festival is actually the International Bluegrass Festival and not something that's just a local thing? Is there ways that we can expand, bring people into the city through what we offer? And right now, that is my plan. Those are the recommendations that I have. They are always subject to change because, the whole point is listening to what the community is saying that we need. I may have missed a few things, but I know people have been talking about housing, affordable housing.
That's all of them.
That's all of them.
Good, great ideas. You got a plan. You got a plan. You got ideas. So
I mean,
it's up to the people.
one thing I did want to ask you is that you're a black man.
Right.
It's Black History Month,
You gonna build a boxing
Right.
gym, right?
but at the core of it all, you're really just a man. So if I strip you down, you're just a man. So if there's 3 people running for mayor and you person 2, and you don't got a name, nobody knows your race, nobody knows what you look like, can you tell me things that'll put you above 1 and 3 for you to be that appropriate candidate at this time? The person I should believe in, no matter.
Right.
Because it's Black History Month now, but when November rolls around, it's not no Black History Month. So I want to know what you like if I really strip you down as a man.
Right.
Why should I really give you this vote? Because we got a personal connection,
Right.
but you're not going to be able to build a personal connection with everybody in the community, no matter how much you like to. So if they strip you down, look at you just like a man, as they should for a candidate, what will really put you above the explicit number of candidates that we have out there running for this?
Right. And now that's a good question. So we have 2 other people right now. And what sets me apart, it's really easy, to be honest. If with the people we have right now, if it is working for you, if life is great right now, if you don't feel your rent is too high, your OMU bill too high, if you good with how things are now, the 2 other candidates are who you vote for. They are currently serving on the city commission. They have helped create the life you have, like the circumstances you have now. So if that's working for you, then that's who you would go to. Now, if you looking for a shift, if you looking for somebody who is really looking to focus on community building, extending the decision-making power to the people of the community, if you want to say in where we build, what we invest in, then you vote for me. So that's the good part. Right now, the 3 people that we have, if it's working for you right now, I am not your guy. Because there are 2 other people who have helped create the circumstances that Owensboro is in now. If it is not working for you and you are struggling and you need someone who listens to the people, who's creative in the approach, who can help to find solutions, who is going to make sure that you prioritize opportunities for people, if you don't like that it's all about who you know right now, Dracin for mayor.
So one of the reasons why I wanted you on this podcast was because as soon as I found out you was running for mayor, I came into work and people knew before me and they was already treating you different. Like, oh, Dracin the mayor. They was already calling you Dracin the mayor. Right. So the reason I want you to do this podcast is so people who hear this, hopefully this can reach out and hits in people's ears who usually don't listen to this, and they see you more as Dracin the person. Because I met you as Dracin, the funny guy who, and then you became. Then I learned you became Dracin running for mayor with these ideas. So I wanted this to be like a more personal note to make you feel like you really in the community. Like you not people don't really look at politicians as people, just politicians. Yeah. So I want people to see that side of you.
Humanize them.
He can't spell it though. I tell you that. But I want people to see that side of you. I think that really helped the vote because like you said, you got people on the board. They probably don't look at them as like regular day people. But I could see you out in the community doing something and be like, that's Dracin. He ran from mayor. But I couldn't tell you the other two faces or what they really be on. But I built a relationship with you and saw that human side of you. So I want everybody to get you on here and let people hear that personal side of you. Let you know that you're really part of the community. That you're a person before a politician, and that's why the change is gonna come.
Right. Yeah. Right. I appreciate the underground. We're in the underground right now.
Yes, sir.
Underground. What's the underground all about? Real quick for our exit stage last.
Look around you. You got Keegan. Niggas didn't even know what Keegan was on until now, and I'm his nigga's best friend. I really don't know what he be on. You got Darius.
What you mean?
I don't know. I can't. You can't put a beat on Keegan. You got Quadri. You just surround the underground is just the people with all these ideas, and we don't all correlate into our ideas. And we got differences, but at the end of the day, we all got the same goal. And that's to make it out of here and come back and do something for the people because we still got family and ties around here. So the underground is just we ain't no misfits. We just people with ideas. I feel like underground got a bad connotation to it, but we underground. We not really looked at. No one's gonna look at me and be like, this guy's saving up money so he can move 800 miles away to go box. I'd have to go and tell him this. So I'm not gonna go out here and tell my story. I'm gonna go do it and come back and let people know what happened. So to me, that's the underground.
It's deep.
I didn't even have that idea on this shit. That was tight. I like that a lot.
It was deep.
That's a good thing.
Something like that all night.
But Keegan, you had some points you want the question, right?
Oh, of course.
Keegan, make it quick. I work third shift.
Hey man, I got double tomorrow too.
Ask me one question, and I gotta bounce.
And I got another question for you.
All right.
I'm gonna hit your second point.
Okay.
How women are represented. But
Future mass.
Well, but still, for these changes to happen, you have to money has to come in. Correct?
Facts.
And I'm gonna say the reason women aren't as represented is because, just the way the system's set up, men will make more money, and they will bring in more money. Money has to be here for change. That's why women aren't represented. They don't make as big. Huh?
Real misogynistic, you say?
I mean, it's the system that we're in.
Right, but we're questioning the system. Like we're change is coming.
You can't enforce people to give women more money.
No, I'm definitely not saying that. But there are boards. So the mayor, city commission, they have many boards, right? They have region to airport board. They have I think they have different boards. OMU has a board. Yes. I'm saying, are we in these boards? Many of these boards are not paid. You're not getting paid. But what you can do is, if I believe that women should be have opportunities, right?
Yes, but everything you just named was a business, and men bring more money, and business is about the money. So why would they want a woman's opinion when a man will bring them more business?
In terms of what? The boards are not paid. Like, you're not getting money. They're helping to advise whatever it is, whatever board they're on. They're providing some sort of advisement. But what you're talking about, it's what I'm saying. In 2020, we've all recognized that is not the right thing to do.
Oh, it's not the right thing, but that's how it is.
The whole point is, I'm not even for sure that men bring in, what do you mean by men bringing more money?
I would assume they bring in more money.
In terms of what?
Anything. Businesses. I guarantee the top 1% of Owensboro, richest people in Owensboro, all men. Agree or disagree?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
The men bring
Right.
in the more money.
That's how it is around the
Right, they
world.
make more money,
Exactly.
or they're
So-
bringing in the more money. Like, are they bringing
make
in more money
They
to the
make
city?
More money, and you were just saying every board you name, like the airport, OMU, is a business,
Right.
and a business is to make money. And so, if the men are making the money, why would you care? Not why would you care, but like why want more representation for women if the men are bringing you more money?
So
And the way the
the
system
men are not bringing in the money.
making more money, but the way the system is set up, a woman cannot make more money than a man. Like through like just a common woman and a common man will make more money.
Right, and so that's why I was not like, I'm not talking about giving women jobs, right?
Representation.
Right.
But why?
Because if what I'm sort of confused. I'm talking about ensuring that women have opportunities to serve on boards, right?
Okay. But what will that change if on the board, like you said, the board
Right.
is just there to advise the business.
Right.
Even if women are on that board, like if
They're providing advisement.
exactly,
A
but
vision.
if I'm head of a business and then some women are on the board, and I'm like, all right, but then there's some men are on the board. Who's bringing me more money? Men. I'm not gonna give a fuck what the women said.
Women are 52% of the population.
Exactly, but that doesn't mean all right. So, but how many of them are married? Like how many are with a man? Like
Why does it matter?
because they make more money.
I'm saying women are 52% of the population. The
Yes.
goal is that they are also represented within the city, right?
Like on boards. But then
In
again,
any aspect.
gotta keep it short.
Because I think it's even important if you are the city contracts with different contracting companies. Are you ensuring that the places you're contracting with have a diverse representation? Like that should, if that's a priority, are they hiring women? Can we, if they are not, can we find another company to contract with that maybe is more diverse, that has women? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get the goal. Like I'm saying, what your
No, but
vision is.
Men
is
do
how it
not
should
bring
be.
in more money to Owensboro. They may make.
In Owens, they make
They,
more money.
I don't know that
in
to
the
be
city.
true. They may make more money here as they do in the nation, but we are questioning those things. This is about questioning
I agree, we
power.
gotta keep it
I
short,
get where you're
but
coming.
Like I'm saying, I'm gonna cut it short for you. You know, but
We'll debate next time. We'll debate another time.
Fuck that
I
shit.
I
Fuck that
appreciate
shit.
it.
Yeah, it's whatever. Last question I have to ask, because I'm a person. I didn't go out and vote. I had the opportunity to vote the last time.
Why
last
did you
election.
not vote?
I'm not very educated. Really don't care, because my perspective on a lot of this voting shit, which is what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you why I should vote. I don't.
You can't say Owensboro suck and then not vote though.
That's true.
But I'm not also the one complaining about it. You know, I'm just saying it sucks. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I want all these changes too. I'm not that person. I'm just gonna tell you it sucks.
Why, like it don't matter to you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But the thing is, I've never seen a reason to vote because I've never seen shit change on this level.
Right.
Locally, I mean, which I should vote locally, but
Right.
I haven't, and this term I feel like I should. But I'm not. I wasn't educated the last time, and like I said, I was like, "What's the fucking point if nothing's gonna change? Nothing in my realm's gonna change. My mom's still gonna be
Well, a
working
lot of
at."
people felt like it in the last election.
Yeah.
So that's real.
Yeah, so like my mom still works the same job. We still struggling. We still doing the same shit.
Right.
I would like for that to change. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, is it really? Am I really gonna see that? But then I also have the responsibility of like, fuck seeing it now. You got to see the long haul.
Right.
Which
see it now because it's also important.
Yeah, but I have a hard time seeing it through. So it's always like I'm always teeter-tottering. Like whereas these a lot of kids around my age, especially white kids, you should go vote. You know? And I feel like their parents are gonna directly see that, feel whatever happens, the outcome. Whereas my people, my family, people I'm around, we're not gonna see none of that. So I have a hard time like trying to grasp. So like that's why I didn't vote.
Right.
Now tell me why I should get out and vote.
you should get out to vote because it is 2020. And I am not just talking about a local level because in November we also voting for president. You can find the best for you. I know who the best is for me right now. But
disregard him.
but the election is important. I keep saying right now, this election, all elections right now are all about power. What do we think people in power should do? Should they listen to the people? Should they do the same thing that they've done for the last 40 years? What does power look like? What do people in power say? What do they do? Have you been consistent? Like, are you lying to us? It's all about questioning power now, about changing the status quo. For far too long, nothing happened, nothing changed, not just locally, nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, wages have pretty much remained the same. Jobs have left. Many jobs that we think are coming back are not coming back. So what you need is someone, hopefully you see that, right now is the time, especially young people, women, people who did not benefit from the way things were, are saying, we're going to find the candidates on whatever level. We're going to get behind them because something got to change like yesterday. And so vote, because if you don't, I keep telling my brothers, if you don't, you're going to miss the moment. And ain't nothing worse than missing this moment, because right now, there's a shift happening where we need all the support we can get. And you just don't want to be left behind. Like, if you don't benefit from the status quo, then you need to be connected to all of this energy right now that is saying, let's forget the status quo. We want something that works for us, and we're going to get behind whoever's representing that. At a local level, Dracin for mayor.
Let's get it.
At a national level, I know who I'm voting for. It is not. Nah, I ain't going into that.
Yeah, it's cool. Thank you for your time. This has been fun.
Shout out to the underground.
Yeah, shout out Quad. Shout out Dre. Shout out Keeg. shout out Warren.
Conservative.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
That doesn't matter. It's besides the point.
I don't even know what parties mean, like Republican, Democrat. I'm not even joking.
Are you an independent?
All I know is one's a donkey, one's an elephant.
Nah, hold on.
Facts.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll see where you're at in November.
Yeah, I'm gonna check back in with y'all.
I bet. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah.